Expect a crowd if you head out this Labor Day weekend. The movies are open, the trails are calling.
I was laying down in the back of the boat, not a care in the world. It was beautiful.
Tonight, state leaders are hoping everyone remembers we're in a pandemic and hoping the holiday weekend doesn't trigger a spike in cases.
Plus, that near-record run of 90-degree temperatures is about to come to a crashing halt. We're tracking a significant change in temperature.
And with many Coloradans struggling to get by.
I lost my job immediately. I don't know, it was about March 12th.
There's concern a program designed to prevent foreclosures could hurt the people it's meant to help.
On a Friday afternoon before holiday weekend, you are going to see crowds at some of Colorado's most beautiful spots, pandemic or no pandemic. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Ann Trujillo. And we saw the crowds. And tonight, Denver7 brings you team coverage of the hot weekend and impending cold front. Stacey Donaldson's tracking the radar in Denver. Sloan Dickey is talking to hikers in Boulder. And we begin with Denver7's Jason Grenauer hanging out near the water at Cherry Creek State Park. Good evening, Jason.
Yes. Good afternoon from the second most visited state park in all of Colorado. And here along the east boat ramp, still a good number of cars, some people still putting in their boats at this hour. But this parking lot and this park in general come tomorrow. The number of people are going to be just about as high as the temperatures. Factor in the great weather, the end of summer, and COVID restrictions where there isn't a whole lot else to do. And park officials are urging people to prepare for capacity. Parking lots are likely going to be full, and if the park itself reaches capacity, it will be one out, one in at the entrances. Their advice, get here early. A ranger just told me they may close the gates as early as 10. Another ranger said that in the past, on a holiday weekend, they've closed the gates to the park, not letting anybody else in at 8:30 in the morning. So that's their advice, get here early. Their demand is to follow state health guidelines, to social distance, not party in a large group, and to wear masks when possible. Now, I'm told that park rangers' really number one priority is going to be education when it comes to all things pandemic, but they do have the ability to do some enforcement if groups are simply too large or people simply aren't behaving themselves. That's the story here from Cherry Creek State Park. But what about up in Boulder? That's where Denver7's Sloan Dickey is hanging out at Chautauqua Park. Good afternoon, Sloan.
Well, Jason, the beach is definitely a great place to be this weekend, but if you want a mountain experience, Boulder County has been absolutely gorgeous this entire day. We've been talking with visitors to this area about their plans to kind of get out here before that rush of the Labor Day weekend. This has been a record-breaking year for visitors to parks across the state, and officials are concerned about those numbers leading into this weekend. Officials did tell me that they will be out here monitoring the crowds, making sure people are social distancing and staying safe on Labor Day weekend.
We have a full itinerary, I'll tell you that.
After a record-breaking summer,
it's just good to get out in the somewhat fresh air and, get active.
visitors starting the Labor Day excursions early, filling parks and parking lots ahead of the busy weekend.
The kids are in daycare, so we got to go on a hike.
This summer has seen an all-time high for park visitors in Colorado.
With all the lockdowns and everything that's been going on, so it's amazing to, come out here and get outside.
Amid COVID restrictions, many recreation areas already at capacity.
Definitely expecting for it to be a busy weekend.
State and local police will enforce Colorado's coronavirus regulations, including mask mandates, social distancing, and restrictions on large gatherings.
If there gets to a point where it gets too crowded, we can close down areas. Our park managers have the discretion to keep our visitors safe.
But as hikers prepare for the last weekend of summer,
We're wearing our masks,
Yeah,
we're staying away from people. Yeah.
officials say have fun,
The outdoors provides a great refuge for us all.
but be careful.
Enjoy it, but we just try to stress as much to do it as safely as you can.
Now, you just heard from Jason Clay of the state park system here at Chautauqua Park in Boulder County. They'll also be monitoring people as well, but they also have these signs up reminding people to social distance and to wear masks as they head out and enjoy this weekend. Officials say they want you to have fun, but they also want you to be prepared and to stay safe. Ann?
All right, Sloan, thanks so much.
And part of being safe is being safe on the roads, especially with increased traffic over the holiday weekend. This semi crash shut down westbound I-70 for several hours today. The semi driver had to be airlifted to the hospital. That stretch of highway is back open.
And while we are expecting the usual holiday traffic on our roads, it will be I guess you could say anemic out at DIA. Their busiest day this holiday weekend is expected to be about 20% of DIA's busiest day of Labor Day weekend 2019. And let's bring in meteorologist Stacey Donaldson.
Stacey, these ideal conditions right through the holiday weekend. It's going to be perfect out there.
Yes, temperatures in the 90s, not only for today, but taking us into the holiday right before an early snowstorm heads into Colorado. So some big changes on our 7-day forecast. Today so far, we've been up to 91 degrees here in Denver, upper 80s, low 90s for the eastern plains, and mostly 70s and 80s for the high country. Now here in Denver tonight, we'll have 87 degrees by 6 o'clock and 78 by 9 o'clock. So a nice mild evening in store for us. Now we have a fire weather warning for Sunday and Monday for western Colorado, fire weather watch for the eastern plains on Sunday, and then here for the Denver area, an air quality warning in effect through tomorrow. So that was extended once again because of the smoke that'll be moving through. Fire weather watches for the northeastern part of the state. And over the next few days, it will get hotter in the upper 90s for Saturday and Sunday, 90 on Monday. Then here comes the next storm, and it includes snowfall. I'll let you know who will get the most snow here in Colorado and what you can do with your sprinkler systems and swamp coolers coming up in just a minute.
All right, Stacey, thank you very much. A nationwide moratorium on evictions is in effect tonight, thanks to an order from the Centers for Disease Control.
Now, for some, it's a sigh of relief during a difficult time for families, but many others say this moratorium does little to protect families who need it most.
Denver7's Megan Lopez breaks it all down tonight.
It just completely stopped our life entirely.
Life has a way of taking unexpected turns. For Christina Sims and Arthur Gallegos,
I lost my job immediately.
The COVID-19 pandemic has made their lives turn for the worse.
I lost my job. I totally was blindsided by that.
Along with facing unemployment, this month they were evicted, and ever since,
we have been couch hopping with friends, and we stayed in our car one night, and then we stay at his mom a little bit, but nothing is stable.
But Friday, the Centers for Disease Control enacted a nationwide eviction moratorium.
It was unexpected that the CDC would take this action. A lot of our folks are very happy with it.
Elena Wilkin from Housing Colorado says while many are applauding the move,
it's only a moratorium on the eviction, not on rent. And so you're just pushing that financial burden farther into the future.
And it doesn't stop all evictions.
There are a long list of things that you can still get evicted for. Criminal activity, the health of yourself or others, property damage, if you're violating your lease.
The Colorado Apartment Association is also skeptical.
This kind of action is well outside the wheelhouse of the Centers for Disease Control.
Drew Hamrick says evictions in the state are low and landlords are hurting too.
If you're a retired widow and you've got a duplex and one of your residents isn't paying you, you've got a 50% default rate.
For Arthur and Christina, it's too late.
We were like, where was this last week? Because we really needed that.
But they're hoping it will help others stay in their homes and out of the path of COVID.
Before, we were staying home. We weren't going out. We weren't going to parties.
Nowhere.
And now we're just out and about all around, and we're definitely more exposed.
Megan Lopez, Denver7.